Are we all good? We're all good to start. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Oh, also, I can't hear you. Welcome to another episode of The Attacking Third. Obviously, we're having some technical difficulties today, so I apologize for that. For some reason, my man Austin's computer just doesn't want to talk. I'm pretty. Maybe the computer just doesn't want to let you talk. Austin, shake your head
Oh,
if
my
you can hear it. Oh, there it is.
route my gaming headset instead of my handheld mic. So
Well, I'm glad.
looks
I'm
like
glad to have you.
battle today.
That's all right, man. That's all right. We started a little bit behind, but you know what? There's no lack of content here, so we should be all good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back. How are you?
Good, man. I'm fresh. I'm fresh. My sister came over, gave me some of
I'm,
these.
I had
Good
said
stuff.
pre-show you're out here looking like a whole USO right now, dude.
Ooh, let's go.
But yeah,
I
so
might be quarter Samoan, man. I don't know. Maybe.
you and Solo Sikoa out here, man.
That's my boy. That's my brother, man. They're all cousins. I might be a cousin. You don't know.
Hey, hey, let's just dive into this, man. I'm actually about to start running it across the bottom of the screen right now. The Philadelphia Union 2024 schedule dropped, opening at home again this year on the same date, February 24th, this time hosting the Chicago Fire. Uh, Gus, as you take a look at some of these games here, are there any that sort of stand out to you at the current moment? I think we may have lost Gus. So let me see. Can you hear? I guess Gus can't hear me. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, opens on February 24th against Chicago. He's been having some connection issues, so it's very possible that's what it is. Um, Opening in Chicago, go out to Kansas City, back home to welcome Seattle, and then on the 16th, go out to Austin, Texas to face Austin FC. Um, very, very Western heavy open to the season. After Austin FC, you have Portland, then Minnesota. You literally have about a little more than a month and a half before you play another Eastern Conference opponent in Nashville SC. And then it sort of it well, not sort of, it rolls back to the Eastern Conference after that. But I mean, we don't see LA Galaxy, we don't see LAFC. um it's actually, I feel like, compared to what we dealt with last season in terms of our schedule, our Western Conference opponents, for the most part, seem a little bit lighter this year. Minnesota was kind of reeling last season. Austin did finish strong. Same with Seattle. Kansas City did okay. Portland was about a middle of the pack team out west, but you have a handful of, like, I guess you could say, as of the standings last season, a few pretty mid opponents from the Western Conference. Sorry, I had to turn around to grab my mouse and I sort of disappeared. What's going on, Dan Barry? Shout out to you, man. How are you? Yeah, like this schedule's fairly decent. I like that, we get Miami fairly early at home. Don't play them again until the 14th of September. Same thing with Orlando. Face them in the front end of the schedule for our home match. Don't play them again until the third game before the end of the season. Overall, it's a fairly solid schedule for Philadelphia. Like I said, that the opening with a heavy dose of Western Conference teams in the first 2 months is, I feel like, it could be an advantage for Philadelphia. The Western Conference always plays a little differently comparatively. So you want to try and get those handled as quickly as you can. You face Miami here at home on the 15th of June, and then don't play them again until about almost 3 months to the day that you go out there to face them. You get Nashville at home for the second match between the two on the 20th of July. There's a lot of very solid matches throughout this entire regular season schedule. And like I said, getting the Western stuff, getting the Western Conference ones out of the way early is always a good thing. And Pat actually brings it up here, and I was actually just about to get into this, Pat. I mean, I wouldn't know if you would consider them prime time games, but they are definitely decent games. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the little graphic that Pat had. I didn't get a chance to load it into the actual show here. Yeah, April 14th against Atlanta, June 19th on the road against Cincinnati, and then September 22nd at home against DC United are the three. I get they're all Fox. Two are Fox Soccer. One is the Atlanta game early in the season is on Fox. So yeah, you get some national spotlight for a few of those games this season. So yeah, overall, not a bad schedule for Philadelphia. Like I said, I like getting a lot of those Western Conference opponents in the early go, so that way you get a bulk of your I guess you could say stranger competition out of the way because of how the Western Conference always seems to go. And then just the standard dose of the usual suspects. You get NYCFC on the 15th of May there. Um, it's it's a pretty solid schedule, and Gus sort of his connection to the stream isn't doing too great right now, so he isn't able to be able to give us his opinion on it, unfortunately. But I will actually try and garner it from him really quickly. No, it's fine. He'll be all right. He'll show up when he can. Yeah, aside from that, there was a couple of other moves. I have them here, but I kind of wanted Gus to be here for this because I wanted to talk about the whole U.S. soccer thing, which is and the MLS tried to make a proposal to U.S. soccer to use the MLS Next clubs instead of the pro clubs for oh my goodness, for the U.S. Open Cup. And U.S. soccer just outright pretty much said no, which we have the Union drew Saprissa, who are a team that we know pretty well from a few years ago. That hard challenge on Kai Wagner near the end of the match when they were already down caused a lot of problem. And so I mean, you're getting to see an opponent that you already know. I need to bring this up. I am so grossly underprepared, and I feel terrible for this. I mean, it's par for the course for me, but it still doesn't feel good. U.S. soccer. Where is it? There was a whole thing. Here it is. This is the official statement from U.S. Soccer in regards to the U.S. Open Cup. Major League Soccer has requested to allow MLS Next Pro teams to represent MLS in the 2024 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. After thoughtful consideration, we've informed MLS that the U.S. Soccer staff the U.S. Soccer staff recommendation, which was adopted by the Pro League Task Force, is that the request be denied. As we move forward, we will continue our review of the Open Cup to ensure it aligns with the U.S. Soccer strategic pillars. We remain committed to addressing the needs and concerns of all of our members, including MLS and other stakeholders, to enhance and improve the U.S. Open Cup. I agree with this in a way. Like, I hate having all the extra tournaments. Like, if you're already it's already a pretty heavy schedule, 34 weeks. So I mean, it's a lot, but you've done it every year, and it's always been the pro club. So don't let them sort of essentially like back their way out of it and get essentially the youth clubs as as the ones representing the US side of the Open Cup. It just it just makes sense to do it this way. And if you're not, letting these clubs be showcased for their first teams and not their undersides, like the independent ones like Jacksonville and places like those, they'll still be able to participate because they are independently run MLS Next Pro teams. But like Union 2, all those kinds of clubs will not be part of it. It will be the main MLS side clubs. And will it put a heavy burden on teams in the long run? Absolutely. Of course, we talked about this throughout last season. The workload could eventually catch up to anybody. And, at the same time, it's still a chance to be able to lift a trophy. Granted, it's not MLS Cup, but it's still something. It still makes sense for the league to do this. And Pat checking in, Union's opening matchup should speak volumes with Chicago. They kind of had our number last week. Yeah, absolutely. Chicago really did seem to have a lot of answers for what Philadelphia was putting out there in the matchups that we had with them last season. So getting to face them this year to open the season helps you set the tone that you want to establish, not only for just your matchup with Chicago, but going on to face Western Conference opponents, Kansas City, Seattle, Austin, Portland, Minnesota, and then on the road against Nashville and Atlanta, where you come back home to face Salt Lake, which is another Western Conference opponent. So that stretch of games up until Salt Lake, which I believe is your last Western Conference opponent for the schedule, you have a tone that you can set for your team in general going forward for the season if you can have solid results through at least a majority of those games. This cable's being all goofy. Yeah, especially when you look at you don't face the league champion for a while. The second time you face them is on the road near the end of the year. So yeah, up until I believe it was April 27th is the last Western Conference opponent that you face, Pat. He was saying, other than Chicago, the Union hit the Western Conference early up until April 6th. Yeah, all of their Western Conference games are going to be done before, actually, yeah, right around the 2-month mark, 2 months into the season. It's incredible. Honestly, I love it because we all know how the Western Conference goes. Like, let's just be 100% honest with ourselves right now. The Western Conference is always a dogfight. That's just what it's going to do. It's just how it's going to be. It's how it's been for the past 5 years. You have a chance to set such a tone for your conference and your standing in that conference by the time you hit the second week of April. Like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In your first 6 matches, you can set such a tone for not only how you want to play your opponents, but how you want yourself to be playing for the entire year. And then, of course, you do get a bit of an international break. I want to say it's at near the middle of August. No, yeah, middle of July. After the 20th, you don't play again until the 24th of August. So you have that break there, which I believe that one's for Copa America, if I recall. I know you get a small one covering the tail end of August, and then they actually did sort of open up the schedule a bit near the tail end this time, thankfully, because there was a lot that was going on. And just overall, like, again, getting back to the US Open Cup, you have, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to end up playing a lot of games again this year if you make it to the playoffs. Even if you don't make it to the playoffs, if you make some sort of a run in the U.S. Open Cup, you're tacking on a fistful more games. So you're probably going to end up playing potentially over 40 for the entire season at minimum. Well, 34 at absolute, like 35 or 36 at absolute minimum. But you you're probably going to be dealing with almost the same level of workload as last year. Um, it is what it is. That's just life of playing organized football at the level that you're at with Major League Soccer. You're going to be playing a ton of games. You're going to be dealing with, a lot of injury, a lot of guys missing time. Thankfully, I want to say a few of these international calls are going to be during time that MLS isn't playing, which is between the 20th of July and the 24th of August. But there's always the potential for there being stuff that happens aside from that, and you're going to be missing out on a couple of guys, and it happens. The Union have a lot of guys that will end up getting that call, and it is what it is. It's going to happen. uh it, the workload's going to wear on some of these guys, and you're gonna end up having a lot of missed man time from injury, not counting what you're going to miss from the international stuff. um it Is it going to be pretty during that time? Probably not. I mean, we saw how this team played without Andre Blake last year, so you just have to roll with it. It's going to be a lot. You have very capable players to take over those spots if injury and things like that happen. And Pat actually transitions me into the next thing we were going to talk about. Chris Donovan got a contract extension that keeps him here in Philadelphia at minimum through the 2025 season, at maximum through 2027. There are options for 26 and 27 in the contract. It's well deserved. It's well deserved. He's shown that he can be a decent player for this team when his name is called, when the opportunity arises for him to get his chance to play. And it's good. It's a very good contract for him. The term I feel like helps keep him in a solid space where he's still developing. He's still young, and that contract will keep him here where he's comfortable. Get him to be able to still work with this unit that he's been working with, and not only with the senior squad, but he played a fistful of games down with Union too. He had a decent run down there when he was there. He just overall, I mean, he's still rough around the edges. He has a lot that he still has to refine in terms of his game, but I like the contract for Chris Donovan. It's another solid young player that we have. Let's hope this isn't Ernst Tanner trying to play the game of let's get as many young guys and as many low cost players as we can to try and make it try and essentially prove to the rest of the league that you don't need to spend a ton of money to win. Because if you want really top tier talent, you're going to have to pay something for it. I mean, that's just how it is. That's sports in general, But I mean, I get it. I understand why he's still trying to do it. Like, he feels like there's still a chip on his shoulder, and until he wins an MLS Cup doing it, he feels like it's not. I feel like he doesn't see it as a job that he's done to his best ability. It's just how he is. That's Ernst Tanner for you, and he's just, I don't know. I don't really know. Which actually, Pat brings up a good follow up. Will the Union grab someone for free agency? I don't know. I mean, I would hope so. There are a couple of decent players out there that are available. I mean, if he were here, Gus would get on me for this, but I mean, Josef Martinez is there. Like there's players available on the market right now, and you would hope that Philadelphia does something. I'm actually bringing up the free agent list right now. Oh, that's for me to read. Holy crap. Okay, let's see. I mean, Will Bruin is Zendejas is available. Like there's some decent players available on the free agent market, but it knowing how Ernst Tanner is, he may not want to try and go after many of these guys. I mean, I would like to see them do so, but I don't know if it's going to happen, to be 100% honest with you. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of questions going forward into through this free agency period, and with the way the front office operates, I don't think there's really a lot of answers to those questions. I feel like you just get more questions when you try and look for the answer. But I don't know. I mean, it's going to be it's been a very interesting period so far. There were a couple of signings that were made. I just have to find them again because I am the best. I want to say, where is it? LAFC did sign Steve Cherundolo to a contract extension. It's listed as multi-year. They didn't disclose the terms or length of the deal, but aside from that, they also got their three of their assistant coaches back. Cherundolo has a regular season record of 35, 19, and 14 in the MLS regular season and a 6-1-1 record in the playoffs. I mean, getting to back-to-back finals is definitely a big thing for Cherundolo to be getting this extension. He's the only manager in MLS history to finish with the league's best regular season record and an MLS Cup title in his first season in charge. Only the third to reach MLS Cup finals in each of his first two seasons, and he's the first to reach the finals of the MLS Cup postseason and the Champions League in the same calendar year. So, I mean, he's definitely worth it. I mean, oh, that's right, that did happen. I'm sorry. I'm just remembering certain things as I see the headlines for them. Caleb Porter was named coach of the Revolution on Tuesday. He replaces Clint P., who took over from Richie Williams on the 12th of September. He has 9 seasons of managerial experience. He won league championships with Portland in 2015 and Columbus in 2020. He was coach of the year in 2013. Has a career coaching record of 113, 93, and 89. Let's see. Oh, the signing of Emil Forsberg was made official finally because that window opened officially for teams. Pat and I talked about it back during the tail end of the regular season. Forsberg's a good addition. for Red Bull. He has the capability to be able to really open up the way the offense operates up there. Very solid young guy. Perfect for what they're trying to do out there in New York, which is essentially revamp the attack. After, a decent enough showing. You got into the playoffs. You end up losing to the eventual league champions in Columbus, but they faced. No, they wound up facing. I don't remember who they wound up facing, but they definitely they made it through to the second round of the playoffs. Sorry, I'm talking a lot and I'm getting very dehydrated very quickly. Always remember to drink water, folks. But yeah, Pat, I was actually just talking about right before I was talking about Emil Forsberg, I was talking about Cherundolo getting his extension and Caleb Porter being named head coach of the New England Revolution. So, yeah, a bunch of other clubs are making moves right now. Either retaining people or signing new people to come in. I agree with you, Pat. I really do hope that the Union get going. You need, because Gus and I have been having this weird back and forth about it, and we both agree with each other, obviously, because I'm not hard to. I'm very agreeable, but you're not going to be able to continue this trend. Philadelphia is not going to be able to continue to be this team who are very low in the league in terms of payroll and have the consistent success that they have. It's just not going to happen. This team, there's a revamp that needs to be done, and the way you do it is by putting out some more money. It has to happen. And I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. The way it's trending, it doesn't look like it will. And it kind of sucks for Philadelphia because it's a very solid club here. They've put a lot of really good work into developing the players, a lot of the players that you see now. Wagner wasn't a bad left back when we got him. And he's gotten a ton better ever since. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's done.
I am going to throw away every piece of electronic that I have. Every piece of technology that I have in this house is going to go out the window.
Except for the Xbox. That always stays.
Yes, that is correct. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm back. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm doing great. We were talking about the schedule earlier. As you can see, I have it running across the bottom of the screen. Was there any matches there that stand out to you more than any other? Aside from Miami at home early on.
Well, Miami at home, when you look at it though, I don't even know if Messi's gonna play. To be honest with you, when do we have Miami? What's the date there?
It's
June
coming back
15th,
around.
was it? I think it was June 15th.
I think it's sooner than that, actually.
Is it sooner than that?
Oh no, yeah, it's June 15th. You were right. Yeah.
June 15th. So June 15th, if we have Copa America coming up, I don't even know if he plays.
Oh yeah, that's right. Copa America is in June. I forgot.
I don't know if he comes back to Delco, man.
It'll be a bummer. Ticket prices are probably already pretty high for that one.
Oh, they're probably ridiculous, but it's just the Messi effect. Everybody was expecting that. There's a couple different ones that's part of my eye. We're going against Austin, right? So that's new. That's going to be.
Dude, I'm not. As an Austin, I'm not ready for that.
I thought you might not be. But I mean, that should be fun. I mean, it's it's a new challenge here. So
Yeah.
it should be cool.
Portland we haven't seen in a while. Seattle we haven't seen in a couple of years either. Honestly, we saw
Yep.
Kansas City and Minnesota both last season. Like that Western Conference stretch from the 2nd of March to the 30th of March, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches in 30 days. I mean, that's a hefty handful of Western Conference opponents right off the bat. And then after what is it, April 27th against Salt Lake, you're done with Western Conference opponents.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
you literally have like back to back to back, like right where you have DC, Orlando, New York,
New
and then
England, Charlotte.
New England, Charlotte, Toronto. So it's
Yeah.
like bang, 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 and then I think you have Montreal, and then
Yep.
Miami.
Montreal and then
But
Miami.
then
Yeah.
that's the Miami game. So I don't know what's going to happen in terms of Messi being here for that game. I don't think he will. But I mean, you never know.
Yeah. I mean, it would definitely be it would be fun to see him for sure. But if since Copa America is running at that time, and we all know that Argentina are definitely considered a heavy favorite, you probably won't see Lionel Messi with Miami at that point. Although
Especially
you would though, I believe you would at least get if he does sign, you would get David De Gea.
and Suarez if they
Yeah,
do
and
end
Luis
up getting
Suarez.
them.
Yeah, so I mean, and Jordi Alba, like you would get some decent guys there if
Sergio.
yeah, and Busquets. So I mean, you'll get some really solid talent, but I personally would not expect Messi for that one. Yeah, one of the ones for me, for like right around the midpoint of the season, I believe it was July 20th against Nashville. You're going to be hitting an international, a bit of a break after that, because after that, you don't play again until there it is, until August 24th
Oh,
against
August.
Columbus. So
Yeah.
I mean, you have a whole month after
Yep.
that Nashville game. So you want to get a win there. Like that's going to be a big one, especially because that's where once you hit that match on the 24th, you're in the sprint to the end of the season.
I
Like,
hate that they do this, but like I mean I get it because that's how the schedule falls. But I hate that they do this when you have a month off, right? It's an international break. Fine, I get it. It happens. Whatever. Then you come back August 24th. You play. Then you turn around and play August 31st. Literally, not even a week later, and then you don't see the field for another 2 weeks till September
yep,
14th. Like what the hell is that? and then
bro,
they,
we're
and
getting
then
we're
see,
getting
and then when
MLS,
we come
man.
back, we get September 14th. Then we play in 4 days, September 18th, and then 4 days again, the 22nd,
Yep,
and then six days.
they're
So
doing it.
there's not even weeks are going by before we go. Like we're going literally like bang,
Yeah,
bang, 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 bang.
yeah. They have us. What is that? 14, 18, 22, 28. Literally, you get 4 matches in 14 days, and
hmm
then another 4 after that, and then 3 after that, and then another 2-week break before you end the season.
I whatever.
Dude, this is MLS scheduling at its prime, dude. Like this is
it's like
this is
ridiculous.
prime
We
MLS scheduling nonsense.
but we do this all the time though. Like we do this. We at least they're consistent throughout the year. When you see here, it
Yep.
happens in May again. We play the 18th. We play the 25th. Okay, that's a nice week, right? Then we turn around and play the 29th, and then we play June 1st. So it's like,
Yeah,
all
well,
right,
and then after June 1st, you don't play again until the freaking 15th. And then you play the 15th and the 19th, and then you don't play again until July 3rd. Like what?
yep.
Why? Why are we doing this? Why does
Uh,
MLS
uh,
so much just want to be like, hey, here's a couple weeks off. Hope you don't mind playing like 9 games in 15 days. Like, what the hell? It's
I don't
so
know.
brutal.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
And the fact they're just like, let's just front load Western Conference.
I mean, I mean, so it's not like I hate this. Like I don't. I'm fine with the schedule. I think we can make a nice little run as long as we don't see any injuries.
Yeah, and then just gonna transition the way that it happened organically earlier. Pat did sort of lead up to this. He was wondering, Oos, what's your take on the Chris Donovan contract?
Excuse me. Honestly, I think it's very much an Ernst move, dude. It's like a lukewarm water to the face.
Yeah, I mean, he did okay enough throughout the season,
He got
but
better, but
to to
it's not a game
yeah, I mean,
changer.
to have the ability to have him locked in for 4 years.
I mean, he's still very
eh,
young, so
Yeah, I
that,
mean,
that part I don't. And we're not breaking the bank, which is exactly what Ernst wants to do. But it's a very man move. Like, okay, we
yeah,
got Donovan.
it's Ernst
He
Tanner
might not
making
play
Ernst
some
Tanner
games.
moves, man. That was exactly what I said. I mean, like he played well enough to earn a contract, but
He might not
there's
play every game though. That's the thing. Like, we're
yeah,
this was gonna happen. And I think it was JD Walker of Gray Rider. Check him out when you get the time. The dude's very knowledgeable. I think he said it best. It's like he said the other day. He said that Ernst just kind of goes through the MLS contracts like going through the $5 DVD bin in Walmart. Like that's
yeah.
that's
Oh
what he
my
does.
gosh, dude. That was the perfect analogy for what Ernst
Yeah,
Tanner does when it comes to signing contracts, dude. That
that's
was that was
exactly
I
what he
could
does.
not have I could not have put it any better myself.
That
Like
is exactly what he
he
does.
really is a bargain bin shopper when it
Yep.
comes to getting talent in general at all.
Yeah,
And
he's a flea market GM. Yep.
yeah, it's really it's really rough. It's really rough to have to be a part of this now. I mean, at the point that we're at
Listen,
with it,
nothing's gonna change unless we start losing. I don't want to start losing. So if it ain't broke, but I can
I
guarantee
mean,
you this: I don't see us winning a championship if we keep doing it. We'll keep winning. We'll be in the fight, but we're not going to win a championship if we don't do something. It doesn't even have to
exactly.
be a Lionel Messi signing. Like I don't. I
Yeah,
mean, that's not going to happen, right? Philadelphia is not really an attractive market when it comes to soccer. Like I get it. Nobody wants to come live in Delco. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not attractive. They want to go to Miami. They want to go to New York. They want to go to LA. Like, those are the three that everybody wants to go to. So I get it, but give me something, something.
yeah. Like anything to bring enthusiasm.
Right. Bring up like an Ilsinho type of player, right? Where you can come off the bench. Maybe he's a little bit older. I'll take a little bit older, come off the bench with a spark. Like I will love that. If
Yeah,
Ilsinho was in this team this year, I'm talking about Ilsinho when he came over here.
yeah.
We might win.
We definitely would have won a lot more games that were very close because of how he
I'm
plays.
I'm not even. I'm talking about in the playoffs. I don't think we lose in the playoffs if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the fact that a lot of those games were either very close scores at the point that a sub was made or tied, he always
Yep.
gave you an advantage to be able
Yep.
to break through. And even Corey Burke, like Corey Burke probably would have helped out a great deal for this team, like the spark that he gives for the attack as well, just like an Ilsinho type. Just there was all, and even in my opinion, as much as I love the fact that we get to see him play internationally, Brendan Aronson, another guy that was a very solid super sub who would just bring something different to the way this team thought in terms of the attack. You don't have those kinds of guys, and it was becoming a very proven point throughout especially the stretch run at the tail end of the season and into the playoffs. You didn't have that kind of guy that could help turn the tide on a drop of a dime,
See,
and
here's
it's
what
something
here's
that
what I
we've been
don't get
missing.
though. Here's what I don't get though, and you can listen. I've seen academies. I've seen games. You can go down to Brazil and find a 29-year-old, 30-year-old, 31-year-old that can do the same thing El Senior can do here, and then bring him as a player with a low contract. Like there's tons that are either like I'm not even saying let's go get a young guy that's gonna carry your franchise for that. I'm literally talking about a bench piece that can spark. Did you know that El Senior
Yeah.
used to be a defender,
Hmm.
and then he came over
Yeah, I knew
here and
that.
was like, "I got skills. Let me play up top."
Yeah, he literally was like, I just want. I feel like I could play forward here. They
And
were
in
like,
Brazil,
okay,
in Brazil, just has those guys that are like that, man. Like we really should be
oh yeah,
looking at getting somebody like that in, especially again coming off the bench. We don't need to give him a ton of minutes. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to. We don't need them to carry the team. Literally, just a
yeah,
spark. It's what Torres should have been for this team this year.
yeah, 100% agree. I do want to really quick just throw it over to a few of our sponsors, but I do want to come back and talk to you about a head coach signing that happened for one of three Eastern Conference clubs. So I am just going to come over to here. I should have already had this set, but I am just the best. Yeah, hey, guess what? We'll be right back after this word from Philly Sports Trips.
All right, guys, if you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. Go to phillysportstrips.com. They have self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights from the Philadelphia airport. Packages include direct flights, 4-night stays, all-inclusive tailgate parties, lower-level group tickets. Whatever you want, you got it with phillysportstrips.com. If you want to travel to an upcoming Phillies game, make sure you check out Philly Sports Trips. And do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2023 season. Jump on it now because you do not want to lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com.
All right, and we are back, Gus. It was, let me double check this right here because I forget the name exactly. I believe it was, yes, New England Revolution named former 3-time MLS Coach of the Year, 2-time MLS Cup champion coach Caleb Porter to run their club for this upcoming season and beyond. What are your opinions on this signing for New England?
You want me to be completely honest?
Please do. I feel like you've never not been dishonest to me.
I don't think it. I don't think it changes anything for them. I don't. I don't think they get any better. I don't think this is. It's a very Caleb Porter. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Caleb Porter is good. I just don't think that New England has all the talent in the world. I mean, like, neither does the Union, but it's different because I still Porter's good. I still think Jim better. But that's just me. I mean, I'm maybe a little biased. Um, but I mean, it's a good signing for them. He's gonna have a lot of ideas. Personally, again, I don't think that he changes, their team that much. But he's a good coach. So I mean, I could be wrong. I guess I just don't see it.
Yeah, nine years of MLS managerial experience, 2 championships, one in 2015 with Portland, one in 2020 with Columbus. I said he was a 3-time Coach of the Year. I was grossly mistaken. He was the 2013 Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Career record of 113, 93, and 89 with both Portland and Columbus over those 9 years.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
he's
I
good.
feel like
I don't want you to think that I'm saying he's a bum. He's not a bum. He's good.
no,
I
yeah,
just like for the team that they put out, I I just don't think they're that much different than they were this year.
yeah, and the main thing that I personally see with it is the fact that he brings a pedigree. Um, which, it's not like you didn't get that before with guys, but, with the way that they sort of collapsed around the whole thing with Bruce Arena and sort of just essentially fell into a bit of a rut going into the MLS Cup playoffs and then effectively, getting swept by Philadelphia in the first round, it left them wondering where to go next. And sometimes when you're a club that's reeling, the best thing that you can do is bring in a guy who's a no-nonsense coach who has a very solid winning pedigree, and that's exactly what they went and did.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Again, Caleb Ford is really good, right? He's a good coach.
Yeah.
New England finished what, fifth, right?
Yep.
Behind us.
Yep.
So fifth. Do you think they're better than 55 points next year
No,
with him?
definitely not. But I feel like
they might be in the hunt. Like I think they make the playoffs, but I think they stay within the 50 to let's say 50 to 60 point range, and even 60, like 60 should put you up there, in the top 3 4. But I don't see them winning a lot more than 15 games. They might win a couple more with him, like 50. You can win. I just don't think it's going to be 20 wins, like
yeah, I
Cincy
mean,
had.
I don't expect Caleb Porter to be an immediate difference maker for this team. I feel like it's a step in the right direction coming off of what happened with Bruce Arena for this club. It's definitely what they need to sort of get themselves back in a position where the club itself looks like it has some sort of competence. After what happened with Bruce Arena, it was not a good look on them. So being able to get a guy who, you get the same kind of thing that you had with Bruce Arena, where you get that good coaching pedigree, and with the players that they have, this is the direction they wanted to be heading, and they definitely did that in getting Caleb Porter. Do I think that they could touch maybe 60 points in a season in the next couple of years? Probably not. There's going to be a lot of flux in the next 2 to 3 years with this club. So, it's like I said, it's a step in the right direction for them. It's exactly who they need at this current point. Someone to sort of help reteach the fundamentals of the game to them and essentially just get them back to the proper mindset of being a club
Yeah,
that could compete for a cup.
and it might take a while. I'm more talking about like the immediate change of it, right? So he may be able to take him somewhere else in a couple years. And as an immediate change, though, I really don't see them being better than 55 points.
No, yeah, I don't think I would see them even getting to that 55 like they did last year, because a lot of that was,
I mean, they could. I mean, finish it.
I mean,
Like, when,
when
when
you,
you look at the standings, right? Like when you look at the team, like obviously there's going to be, um, moves and everything. But like when you look at them, New England, they're better than Atlanta.
yeah,
I don't think they're better than Nashville. To be honest, if I'm
no,
being completely honest with you, I don't think they're better than Nashville, even though Nashville finished seventh. They're better than the Red Bulls, Charlotte, Montreal, New York City, and then the rest. DC. The only one that's going to be in the mix this year, assuming that Messi plays, is Miami, right?
yeah,
So
exactly,
they're the ones that are going to kick somebody out.
yeah,
Whether that's Atlanta, New England, Nashville, Philadelphia, even because we're being real, that could happen, right?
yeah.
I don't know who that may be. That's gonna be up to them. I think that he can get them enough to make the playoffs. I just don't know how far they get into the playoffs. That's all.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I was speaking on before you came in was New York Red Bull finally made it official that they acquired Emil Forsberg from Red Bull Leipzig. Um, I personally feel like it's a player that fits what they're trying to do, but I don't see it having an immediate impact. just like how we were saying with Caleb Porter going to New England. I mean, Forsberg fits into the philosophy, but
Mhm.
it's not going to be an overnight thing for this club to all of a sudden become better than where they were. Like they could probably maybe keep themselves in the mix at where they are, but that's another club that, after the midway point of the season really started to come undone a little bit. And, you look at how again, with this schedule, it's rolling across the bottom of your screen there. It's usually around that July to August where both New England and New York Red Bull both sort of came apart. If I mean, we were saying, you can't get someone and have them make an immediate impact overnight. New England lost 2 goalkeepers and a head coach throughout the course of their season and came undone effectively overnight when the whole Bruce Arena thing happened. And I feel like New York Red Bull did sort of the same thing. And is it a desperation signing for them? Very possibly. But Forsberg brings capability. He's not too old. He brings ability at that position for New York to potentially stay where they were in the standings.
He's played for his national team.
Exactly.
He's lots of matches. He's a good signing. However, when you say desperation, I mean, how old is he?
He's I
Got to
want
be
to say
30,
he's
what,
like
31, 32? He's got to be 30, 30,
something like that. Let
something
me
like
double check.
low 30s. He's got to be like 31 to 33. Um, so when you look at a kind of signing, right, you you're going to expect
Yeah,
him
he's
to produce
32.
right away. He's 32. Okay, yeah. So you're
Yeah.
going to expect him to produce right away, right? I don't see that happening either. I think that there's going to be even though he's probably used to just maybe a higher level competition, right? And I think he'll do very good here. It does take adapting to the league. Very few players can go from league to league and just be great, right?
Yeah.
We see that. We even see the greats having a bit of a fall off when they move leagues, right?
Yeah.
When Neymar got to PSG, biggest transaction number in history, and he fell off a little bit, and then he came back up. But that first year is tough because you're getting used to your teammates, you're getting used to
Yeah.
how they play. The MLS is another league completely. Like we're talking about football, we're talking about soccer, but it's just a different league. It's just a different
Yeah.
feel,
And you
different refs,
also
different
yeah.
CONCACAF rules.
And then you also have to take into account that, like you were saying, he needs, the time to adjust. Spoilers, as of right now, you have about 2 months to make that adjustment if you're going to be in the 11 to
It's
start
gonna
your
you're
team
gonna
season.
listen. You're gonna blink, and Christmas is gonna be over next week. You're gonna blink, and
Yeah.
the season's gonna be here again. So yeah, okay, great for them. It's a solid signing. Okay, I'm just gonna say that solid signing.
Yeah.
They're just hoping that it works out quicker than I think it's going to happen.
To give a hockey analogy, they're hoping for more of a Peter Forsberg and not a Philip Forsberg. Which, don't get me wrong, Philip Forsberg is a very good player, but if I had to choose a Forsberg, I'd go Peter.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like you did mention,
But yeah, it's solid. He's a pretty solid midfielder, and I think he'd be fine. I'm just seeing a little bit of a struggle when it comes to actually getting in there and playing.
yeah, but yeah, like you did mention, with Christmas right around the corner, if there was one gift that you could get the Philadelphia Union this holiday season, what would it be?
Money.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be like the Great Wizard of Oz and give Jay Sugarman a brain.
No, just money. Just give him money.
They already got enough of that. They're just gonna put it in their
No, they
pockets.
don't. No, they don't. They need money. Listen,
give contracts to Chris Donovan.
Ernst's gonna have to. Like, he needs more for him to spend. In his mind, it's not enough. So he needs more. So give him money.
Oh, dude, you know what I'll give him, dude? I'll give him a fresh, cleanly written out reality check. How's that sound?
Yeah. If there's magic involved and I was Santa Claus, I would give him a younger version of Andre Blake.
Just give them Andre Blake's youth back.
Yeah. Just find him the fountain of youth and give it to him and him only.
Just give him immortality and eternal youth.
Yep.
Job done.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that, we've covered mostly everything that we needed to today. So I mean,
Did you
y'all
cover
out there?
draft? I know I missed a couple of the.
Oh, that's right. I didn't do draft. You're absolutely correct. I almost forgot about the draft.
So let's talk about draft, right?
Yeah, go for it.
How did you see with did you see
I did see
the
that
MLS
the one
draft at all?
kid. I did see the one kid that we drafted was from the University of Pennsylvania, and I was pretty stoked on that. But aside from that, I didn't really get a chance to because I was in the middle of doing my my move.
Oh,
But
right.
Toronto did select Lipscomb forward Tyrese Spicer with the first overall pick. He finished his college career with 29 goals and 18 assists over 57 matches. He was the Atlantic Sun Conference Player of the Year in 2023 after leading the nation in goals. Absolute solid draft choice by Toronto FC. Great story for that kid becoming the number one pick. To quote what Toronto general manager Jason Hernandez said in a statement, quote, Tyrese possesses a unique combination of technical and physical qualities that align with our player profile and tactical blueprint. He also has a resilient mindset and a drive to improve, which makes him a great fit for Toronto FC. And I 100% agree with that. You know, the kid is a very tenacious player. Like I said, an incredibly inspiring story. Overall, great work ethic to be named, conference player of the year for your collegiate conference is incredible. It's nothing to really, nothing to bat an eye at for sure. And he definitely was more than deserving of that number one pick. And it's a great addition to Toronto for the future.
Yeah, I think they're going to need it. Signing Insignia was pretty good, but he's not going to be, he's not going to have younger legs forever. So the age is going to catch up to him at some point. So to bring just another potential, a player to make a difference, that they're going to need all the help they can get. So definitely solid. But the Union, I believe that they gave him a draft grade of B for the Union. Now, what do you think? What do you think of it? We didn't pick anybody in the first round, right?
Yeah, we did. We didn't have a pick in the first round.
Did we give that away with the low signing?
I think so. Let me double check through the first round picks and see where it went.
We didn't get one, but in the second round we did draft. The Stas. I'm gonna butcher this name. Korzenowski.
It's close enough because even I was having difficulty with that, and I'm not normally one to have difficulty with names. It's usually Pat's forte.
Pat, yeah, names and coffee. That's his thing. But yeah.
Don't get me started on the coffee again, please.
Freaking bad, dude.
Oh man. Philadelphia's pick was originally set to be 24th, but it went to Miami for the Carranza signing, and they wound up picking Ryan Carmichael, a forward from Hofstra.
Yeah. So we picked up Stas. Again, it's a very Union move. Um, he's gonna this kid's gonna be developed.
Yeah, it was
He's
a
a
was a kid.
forward.
It was Stanford, right?
No. That was our second pick. Stas,
Yeah,
it's junior Pennsylvania. That was the development
that's
academy
right.
signing.
Yeah,
In round three, though, we did pick the kid from Stanford, Zachary Bohane.
yeah,
Also a forward. That's the pick that we got from. Is it Austin? I forget who we got that from,
yeah.
but
That one was
but it
from
was
Austin as part of
yeah,
the loan signing for Brendan Craig.
yeah. So we picked up again another forward. Very much in development. So nothing too huge in terms of names. We were in the later round, so that makes sense. And then to finish out round three, Francesco Montali, goalkeeper, which it was huge because as much as it pains me to say, Andre Blake's not gonna be here forever.
Yeah,
So they picked up this kid from Boston University, goalkeeper, with the 24th pick in the third round. So pretty solid moves for us. We need some forwards, so we better start developing them now. And then the
yep,
goalkeeper, because at some point we're gonna need to have um, backups be promoted
yeah, yep.
and get a
That's
chance. So
also
I like our draft. Again, nothing to be you know to be super excited about. I think it's
yeah, nothing to write home about. But I mean,
I
that's
think it's
goalkeepers.
pretty solid for
Yeah,
what they're trying to do though.
it is goalkeepers in back-to-back drafts for Philadelphia.
Yep.
Holden Trent last year, and then this year with the kid from Boston University. So you do, with Bednick not being here, you have to find someone else to fill a roster spot there at that position. And like you said, Andre, unfortunately, we can't give him the gift that you want to give him for Christmas this year. The budget don't call for it, but you know, but you're absolutely right. Andre Blake isn't gonna play forever, and you need to be able to start considering options for when he does decide to hang it up. So having a couple of young kids to be able
I didn't
to,
like it. I didn't like it when
yeah,
I said it. I liked it even less when you said it.
I'm not great for having to break bad news, my dude.
That Andre Blake is not gonna live forever. I didn't like that at all. Don't say that again, please.
No, I mean he's not going to play goalkeeper forever. Like that one hurts even worse to say.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, but it's as LA Knight says, that's just a fact of life. And
Yeah, I get it.
Philadelphia is preparing for that. Not immediately, obviously, but there's more questions in the future than there are in the present when it comes to that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, again, pretty solid draft from the Union. We're
yeah,
known to have drafts like this. Hopefully we get a splash. Before we leave, though, before we wrap up, I do have to give a shout out to my man Petrovic. Um, he came to Chelsea, and man, got us through the semifinals for the Carabao
hey,
Cup.
look,
So shout out to him.
look,
Uh,
dude,
big spot, penalty kicks, not bad.
United may have bowed out, but we didn't lose to Liverpool, so I'm happy about that. I was over the moon that it wound up an 0-0 between Man U Liverpool, dude. I was so excited.
I mean,
It was so good.
sometimes you get those games. But
Oh, dude,
listen, coming from
I was having a back and forth with a buddy of mine leading up to that match, and I was like, I am not prepared for how bad this is going to be.
well, yeah, nobody was really. But I mean, I can't say
Oh
I'm
no, like
not. I'm not.
I thought United was going to get torn apart, dude.
I didn't think so. I thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna tell you I'm not smiling about it because I am, but It is what it is. But no, man, seriously though, like coming from the MLS, Petrovic, I think he played for New England, right?
Yep.
Um,
He was the one who left New
Coming
England
from the
after Matt
MLS,
Turner.
to have a game like that, and to be able to go into penalties and then save one, dude, was really
Big.
nice to see.
Big.
Really big. Kind of put things like that. Kind of put the league in, on the map a little bit more than Messi already did, because they catch the eyes of maybe other players that are good, and maybe they get more of an opportunity to play abroad. So shout out to him, man. Keep doing your thing. I love Chelsea. It was really nice to see.
Hey, what's even better to see is knowing that with this Philadelphia Union season coming up, I have a quick word from a good sponsor of ours over at Sherry's Tickets.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about Sherry's Tickets. Sherry'sTickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less and play more with Sherry'sTickets.com. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. Do not pay hidden fees and save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller and get those hard-to-come-by tickets to the big game? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call at 610-494-5050. That's 610-494-5050. Sherry'sTickets.com also has great theater and concert tickets that are hard to get your hands on. Remember, do not overpay and save with the best at Sherry'sTickets.com. Save 10% using the promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. You'll thank us later. Sherry'sTickets.com.
Now, we have gone a little bit over, and I do want to just really quick say it's great to be back on the show. But we are at about time. So Gus, thank you so much for joining me. We battled through some issues, but we did. We found the finish line, dude. We did it.
I almost broke everything here.
Oh, dude. You've seen me have issues with cameras and microphones, bro. I know how it feels. But for those of you out there watching, thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to this upcoming season. Make sure you keep it locked here every Thursday night at 9 p.m. as we get you ready for 2024 Philadelphia Union Soccer, 2024 Copa America, 2024 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and every other one of the 37 tournaments that are going to be this friggin' season.
And we're in them all.
Dude, we're all of them. Every single one. We're ready.
It's going to be fun.
But yeah, we thank you folks so much for joining us. We're going to leave you with two more fits of words from our great sponsors here. Y'all have a great week, excellent weekend, very Merry Christmas, and we will see you one more time before the year is out. So catch y'all on the 28th. We out.
All right, guys, let's talk about Cherry Law Firm. If you get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you got to call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Again, that number is 610-565-0300. That's 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right. All right. All right, guys, when you're staying local and you want to watch a great game or just hang out with some great people, make sure to go to Dolan's Bar at 24 East Sellers Avenue at Ridley Park. Right off of I-95, south of Philadelphia Airport, Dolan's Bar is the place to be. Great music, great times, memorabilia giveaways, great drinks, and even better food. You never know when a former Philly sports icon walks through the door. You got to go to Dolan's, 24 East Sellers Ave at Ridley Park. Tell PJ that EOP sent you. Go to dolansbar.com or follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or even TikTok. We'll see you there for the game.